Parashat Balak. Balak, the king of Moab, saw what the people of Israel did to Sihon, the king of the Amorim. Sihon was a giant, one of the last living Nephilim that stayed from the times of the flood until that time. He wanted to attack the people of Israel. He eventually did attack, and he lost. And Balak got scared. Now, Balak was a sorcerer, big sorcerer. Some people say the biggest one in that generation. And he was called Balak ben Tzipor. Tzipor in Hebrew means bird. And why bird? Because he had a bird made out of gold and silver, and he used to do magic with it and make it come alive and go spy on his enemies and do other things. Now, Balak wanted to harm the people of Israel, but he couldn't do it with his magic because it wasn't strong enough, because his magic is something that you do. A sorcerer is using tools to make magic, and he needed a wizard. So he sends people to bring to him Bilam so that he will help him to fight the people of Israel. Bilam was a magician, a wizard, and his power was the power of speech, but not on the good side, on the bad side. So he used to curse a lot, and everything he cursed came true. Bilam was the grandkid of Lavan, and some people say that he was his reincarnation. Bilam also was a big prophet, and it says in the book of Numbers, in Sefer Bamidbar 23 verse 16, Yodea Da'at Elyon, that he knew how to speak to God right away. Balak's people are coming to Bilam and asking him to come with them. Bilam knows he cannot mess with the people of Israel, but he tells them, you know what, wait, I'll talk to God and see what God has to say. God comes to Bilam at night, and he warns him that he cannot harm the people of Israel. Bilam wakes up in the morning and tells Balak's people he can't come with them and that they have to go. Balak's people, of course, they go back and forth until Bilam is telling them, you know what, let me talk to God again. And God comes to Bilam and he asks him again. And God tells him, you know what, if you want to go, you can go with them. You cannot say what you want, you will say what I'm going to tell you to say, and you will do what I'm going to tell you to do. And you know how it is. When you want to do something, you're asking, and you get a negative answer, and then you ask again, and eventually somebody will tell you, okay, do it. But this is not what they meant. Bilam wakes up in the morning, and he goes on his way on his female donkey. God is very angry with him because he was not supposed to go. On the way, an angel is being revealed to the female donkey, and the donkey stops, and Bilam starts to hit her, and she starts to tell him, why do you hit me? And he doesn't see anything wrong over there until an angel is being revealed to him. Now the Zohar explains that even though he was a prophet, because he was so proud, a donkey was able to see at that point of time something that he was not even able to see. Bilam arrives to Balak, and he tells him to build altars and so several times. He's trying to go and curse the people of Israel, and he ends up blessing. He does that 7 times. One of the blessings that Bilam gives to the people of Israel is a blessing that we say every morning in the prayer of Shacharit. There is a melody for it. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Israel. Balak is looking for a way to harm the people of Israel, to open a hole in the defense, the spiritual defense that the people of Israel have, but he's not able to do so. He tries it for 7 times. Nothing happens.
Bilam was a very big prophet, but he was from the side of impurity. In fact, they say he was in the same level of Moses, just from the side of impurity, while Moshe was from the side of purity. And nevertheless, at that moment that he had 7 times of blessings coming out of his mouth, Bilam understands he cannot do that. And for one glimpse, for one moment, he gets connected to the light of the Creator. And he leaves Balak with a prophecy of what will happen with the nation of Israel in the end of the days. and what will happen to the enemies that will dare to attack the Israelites. But it doesn't last long. Soon after, he goes back to his ways. Balak goes back to his ways. And Bilam still gives Balak an advice of how to still harm the people. What now the plan is, Balak is sending, while Bilam goes away, Balak is sending suicide female bombers to attack the Israelites. Beautiful women coming half naked with baskets of food. This was not regular food. This was a non-kosher food. This was a food that was cursed, and this is the same food that they used to worship their idols with. They came, imagine the Israelites all this time were down there, they were on the mountains, not even aware of what's going on. All of a sudden they see those beautiful girls, again, half naked, some of them are prostitutes, coming with those baskets of food, say, oh, come be with us. You must be tired from the way. Here is our food. They knew not to do that. But still the temptation was very hard. And you need to know, kosher food, and there's a whole, Torah about what is kosher food, what you're allowed to eat, what you don't. Once you enter things that are not good for you, that are not kosher for you inside you, you got something else that can come that before was not entering your aura, your defense. You let it in. And if this was something that is harming, it's already inside you. And the Torah is showing a process here of as soon as they ate the food, they already followed them. They agreed to follow. Once they agreed to follow, they brought them to their idols. Once they came to the idols, they agreed to bow to the idols. And from that moment, they started a huge, unfortunately, orgy. And in that moment, while there was completely immorality, people in the nation of Israel started falling and dying like flies. A huge, mysterious plague started. Moshe and the elders are standing next to the Ohel Moed in the Mishkan, crying. They don't know what to do. One of them was a special woman. She was the daughter of the king of Midian. Midian and the people of Moab, they teamed up and they wanted to harm the Israelites. She got a special mission to catch Moshe. They told her, if you catch him, it's all done. How would I recognize him? Oh, he's the one that everyone would bow to. He wears beautiful talit, beautiful white garment. You recognize him. And she goes and she sees someone very tall, very impressing, that people are bowing to, are respecting. And she goes immediately and she catches him and starts with her spells and her food and everything to tempt him. And she gets him. But that wasn't Moshe. That was the head of the tribe of Shimon. And not only that, when she takes him like that, they go to have sex, while Moshe and all the elders are standing there crying. And the other people start dying. Pinchas, the son of Elazar, that was the son of Aharon, the high priest, sees that. And when he sees that, he sees all the good from that man and the other men going into the evil, the dark side. They're sucking their souls. These women were not regular women. They were sorcerers. They were women that were literally serving the dark side, and they're harming people that were enlightened. And he takes a spear and he pushed it through both of them, and the plague stops. 24,000 people died in that plague. In this parasha, we hear, right, this really, really strong story. Now, a story that really happened. This parasha is giving us a great power of protection. it comes right before a very negative time in the year, and I will talk about it in a minute. When we read or hear this parasha on Saturday morning in the synagogue, we can get that protection against curses, again, that others are doing to us, evil eye, jealousy of others, and we kind of strengthen our protection shield around us. Another tip is that you can bring from the ocean, from the sea, a bottle with the seawater, salt water, and wash your house with it a little bit. Seawater has very strong power of cleansing. Also, white sage. White sage, you close the bathroom doors and you go around the house and you burn it a little bit. It also helps. These are all tips, but it's not instead of doing your best to behave as nice as you can. That's the best shield, right? Another thing is that we are entering now, as I said, a very negative, in fact, the most negative time in the year. This is called the 3 weeks, or in Hebrew, Bein HaMeitzarim. 3 weeks that are always in the Jewish calendar, starting from the 17th of Tammuz, and they finish in the 9th of the month of Av. During this time, we have different customs of mourning, because it's a very negative time. Imagine there's no protection like we're used to have in other times of the year. So whatever you do, try not to attract too much attention. Just be, in your cave a little bit. Do your best to be as nice as possible, but also try to really watch out, because danger is out there. This is a time that is not recommended, and especially in the last 9 days, it's not recommended to go to places that are dangerous. It's not recommended to go to the ocean, especially in the last 9 days. Last 9 days, you don't even go to the pool. You just don't do bath, only showers. Anything that could be harmful or danger more than anything else. During this whole 3 weeks, we don't listen to music. It's a time of mourning. We don't always understand what's going on, but it's a time of mourning. We don't perform weddings, and we don't cut our hair. There are other things about this time that maybe we'll talk about in the next lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.